Welcome back, my peaches, to Peaches 2.0. We are skipping the book review today, and we are actually going to talk about, drumroll, my favorite fictional places from books that I want to visit because I think they're cool. I was browsing the internet a little bit before this, and I mean, some of the lists out there are wild. Wizard of Oz is on there a lot. Westeros from Game of Thrones, which I feel like you're taking your life into your own hands if you visit there, but like to each their own. So I just think it's really cool to hear about people's lists where they'd like to go. And yeah, there's not much more to it than that. So get into it. So there is no rhyme or reason for this list and the order that it's in. It's just kind of as I was thinking and jotting down my notes. This is the list I came up with. All right, so first on the list, we're going to start with a couple classics. So I first want to visit Narnia from the Chronicles of Narnia. Narnia is a magical land where there's talking animals, there's giants, there's a giant lion who's protecting everybody. So I want to step through my closet, go have tea with a fawn named Tumnus, and become a queen of Cair Paravel. I want to visit Narnia. Next on my list of places that I would really love to visit that are fictional, and sadly I will never be able to do, is from Harry Potter. So you may be thinking, oh, Hogwarts, such a cliche. I mean, yes, Hogwarts, but specifically Room of Requirement. So we hear a little bit about the Room of Requirement in Goblet of Fire, but Order of Phoenix is really where it comes to play. Harry's talking to Dobby, and Dobby actually explains to him that it's a room that a person can only enter when they have real need of it. Sometimes it is there and sometimes it is not, but when it appears, it is always equipped for the seeker's needs. And I just think wouldn't want to visit a room, one in Hogwarts, but two, a room that will give you whatever you need, even if it isn't what you know consciously you need, but like subconsciously you need it. And the room's like, got you. So, you know, can't go wrong with that one. Okay. And again, sticking with the classics, the next place I think would be freaking awesome to visit. And I mean, you kind of can if you want to take a trip to New Zealand. So it's actually from Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring specifically, but I would love to visit the Shire. If you've seen the movie, I think the movie does a fantastic job of just describing it, visually showing you how awesome it would be to go there. But if not, the Shire is described as, and there in that pleasant corner of the world, they plied their well-ordered business of living, and they heeded less and less the world outside where dark things moved, until they came to think that peace and plenty were the rule in Middle-earth and the right of all sensible folk. Which, I mean, who doesn't want to live in a peaceful place where you forget all your cares, all your outside troubles? And then also in general, hobbits are described of the Shire like they wear really bright colors, they love to laugh, they love to drink, they love to eat. I mean, as much as I think or want to believe that I would be like a badass female main character, like a Faerie, no, I would be a hobbit. I would be the female version of Bilbo. I would be dragged out of my hobbit hole if you insisted I had to save the world. So, gotta visit the Shire. Okay. Now, moving on from some of the classics into, I would say, a modern day classic, which, you know. Okay. So because I am a basic bitch who loves romantasy, who loves Sarah J. Maas, who loves A Court of Thorns and Roses series, you all know that Velaris, the City of Starlight, had to be on this list So we get to see Velaris for the very first time in A Court of Mist and Fury, the second book in the series, but it is described as the city had been built like a crust atop the rolling steep hills that flanked the river, the buildings crafted from white marble or warm sandstone. Ships with sails of varying shapes loitered in the river, the white wings of birds shining brightly above them in the midday sun. No monsters, no darkness, not a hint of fear, of despair, untouched. So, I mean, who wouldn't want to take a romantic stroll through a city that's bustling with artists and music and beautiful starlight, romantic along the river, which I think Velaris is actually, I read somewhere that is inspired, or there's a real life Velaris in Switzerland or somewhere. So has anyone been there? Can you confirm, please? Do you have pictures? Please share. Next one on my list is, I wouldn't call it a modern day classic, but it's definitely a modern day. And I actually happen to just be rereading Kingdom of Crows series by Olivia Wildenstein. And this is the first one in the series, House of Beating Wings. And as she's traveling around with this crow, she comes across this giant sky kingdom, literally a kingdom that's floating in the sky. And it just takes her breath away. And it's described as far as the eye can see, the ochre summits have been carved into dwellings so vast, they resemble islands suspended in the sky. The illusion is strengthened by the thready clouds that drape around the rows of soaring pillars that support each abode like table legs. I just think it'd be so cool. I mean, you walk up and boom. I mean, it would kind of be a pain to get up there. You need somebody who can like fly you up there. But once you're up there, and then you find out in the second book, no spoilers, but you find out in the second book that they have like indoor plumbing and showers, and they just seem to be way more advanced in the hygiene aspect than the lowly people on the earth, the floor, on land. I mean, if I'm going to visit a Fae land story, culture, world, I need somewhere where I can use the bathroom inside. I'm not cut out for the woods. Last one on my list. And again, it's a modern day one. If you haven't read Kalena Price's Alex Craft, her series, it's a completed series. I think you'll really enjoy it. But if you haven't read it, so it's set in modern day times, modern day world, but there's also world traveling to Faerie, Fae, the land of the Fae. And actually the way most people do it is there's a bar called the Eternal Bloom where you sign this ledger, you walk inside, and boom, you're in this bar. And in the back of the bar, there's a doorway where you just walk on into the land of the Fae. So the bar itself is actually really pretty. It's described, "A gaze landed on an ancient tree growing through the floorboards in the center of the room. I looked up. Branches created a false roof to the room, starting 20 feet above my head. And between the branches, I caught the glimmer of stars." So I think it'd be really cool to enjoy beer, enjoy a margarita. You just have to be careful that the Fae that are there don't like trick you and enslave you and take you off to the land of the Fae. But if you can survive that, it'd be a really cool place to grab a drink. And just make sure you don't forget to sign the ledger, because the time works really wonky. And if you don't sign going in or going out, you can be there for like days at a time and not realize it. And people are like, "Where the hell have you been?" And you're like, "I was just gone for 20 minutes. No, it's been 2 days. And you're like, "What?" Again, really, really cool book, really cool series. If you haven't, check it out. So with that, that is my list. I'm sure there's things I just couldn't think of today when I was kind of jotting down notes for my list that I'm forgetting, but make sure you leave a comment down below on what would be on your list of what you would want to visit. Like I said at the start of the video, there's people who on the internet are like, "Oh, I would love to visit Westeros," which side eye, but okay. There's people who, again, want to visit like the Capitol and Pan Am from Hunger Games, side eye, but okay. So make sure you leave a comment down below. Let me know what'd be on your list. I won't judge you. I might give you a side eye, but I won't judge you. And make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And if there's anything you want to see from me in the future, hit me up. Little girl, no. And until then, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Ow.